Okay, so time for concealer. So here are all of my concealers. As you can see, they're kind of overflowing from this drawer. So let me go ahead and jump in and kind of pull out some things I know for sure I'll be keeping. So the first thing is the Charlotte Tilbury. This is their under eye corrector in the shade 1 Fair. I have a pretty good dip in this. This is actually in my monochromatic project pan that I do on Instagram. I love this. It's one of my favorite under eye correctors, and I would continue to repurchase it, and it's staying in my collection. I have another under eye corrector. This is the Pixie by Petra in the shade Peach. It's their Correction Concentrate Brightening Peach. I have hit pan on this, and I very much enjoy this as well. So these two are my favorite under eye correctors. The Charlotte Tilbury is definitely a little bit more creamy, and the Pixie is more like of a peach, like a brighter color. But I like both of them. I like how they wear under my concealers, and the Charlotte Tilbury one sometimes I wear alone and just set it with a powder, and they both look beautiful. So I will be keeping those. Another thing I know I'll be keeping is my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away Liquid Concealer. I have this in the shade 3, however I do think that I could go one shade lighter for under my eyes. But I do use this under my eyes. I also use it on my face. I really like this. I like it also by itself underneath a powder. So on a day that I'm not wearing foundation and I just want to be able to add some coverage, I will pop this on wherever I need it and set it with powder, and it looks beautiful. It really blends into the rest of my skin, so it doesn't look like I just have patches of concealer everywhere. This e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, I have this in the shade Fair Warm. This one I don't think I actually like this one. Yeah, this is the one I wasn't too fond of. I personally think it looks really cakey underneath my eyes, and it makes my under eyes look really dry. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this one on. So I'll set that aside. Next, I have the Revlon Candid Concealer. I have this in the shade 005 Fair. So I really like this concealer. It was just in one of my like weekly makeup baskets. I don't think it's the one I filmed, but I do those regardless if I film it or not. And I do really like this. I like it by itself. And I don't feel like I always need a corrector under this because it does have more of a peachy tone. So I will be holding on to that. Next I have two of the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. I have the shade Golden Natural and Classic Ivory. So let me swatch both of these because I wonder if I need both. I do like the formula of the concealer. I haven't used it a ton. Like, I'm not done really trying it out. I feel like I could get rid of this one. This one looks a little bit too dark. I have a hard time finding concealer shades at the drugstore. And usually I just mix them together. But yeah, I think that I would be okay to get rid of that one. And I will keep the shade Classic Ivory. So next I have the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Concealer. I do have this in the shade 3. This is more recent in my collection, so I haven't really formed a strong opinion on it. I think it's for sure more of like a dry concealer. Maybe I'm wrong, but it sits more matte on my skin. I do like it, and I want to hold on to it to continue to play around with it to see, you know, if it's something I want to keep long term. Next, I have two of the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Full Coverage Anti-Aging Waterproof Concealers. I have the shade Light Natural and Medium. And this is probably one of my favorite concealers. I think it's like a tried and true for me. It's one I consistently go back to. It is very thick, very emollient. Some people don't like it because of that. I think that I could probably get away with keeping one shade. Hopefully you guys can see this one's a little bit too like tan or peachy for me, and this one's a little bit lighter. So I think I'll keep just the light natural because that's the one I always reach for. I used to mix them together, but I don't anymore. I don't feel like I need it. I have this Josie Maran Vibrancy Argan Oil for Full Coverage Concealer Fluid. This is in the shade Fair. I have had this concealer for a while, and it really just goes to the bottom of this drawer. So I feel like I don't get much use out of it, but it does seem nice and creamy. So I'm going to hold on to this. I'm going to put it with the Giorgio Armani so that I could get really good use out of both of those and kind of formulate a better opinion. I have this Zoeva concealer in the shade 09 Dependable. I thought I had two of these, but I could be wrong. I am going to for sure hold on to this. This is what I'm testing right now, and I like it's nice and like moisturizing. I like the way it looks underneath my eyes. To me, it's very easy to apply, so I will for sure hold on to this one. By easy to apply, I mean that like it blends out really seamlessly while still maintaining coverage under my eyes. So next I have this Revolution Conceal and Fix Ultimate Coverage Concealer in Light Sand. Apparently this has salicylic acid in it. I didn't know that. So I had purchased this for my wedding and I didn't end up using it. I was looking for a pot concealer just in case I had any breakouts. This is really, really thick and creamy, but I don't think I would use it under my eyes, and I don't typically use concealer on my face, so I am going to get rid of this. I usually just I just use my foundation to cover whatever I need to on my face, and then whatever's not covered, it's just there for the world to see, and I'm okay with it. Next, I have these two Milani Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealers. I have the shade 115 and 135. I haven't used these recently, but I do believe I like mixing both of them. I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter the darker shade in medium beige, and I'll keep light nude. Next, I have this Hourglass concealer. I think it's called Vanish, and I think the color I have is Birch. I really have not gotten much use out of this. I ordered it online, and I for sure ordered probably too light of a shade. However, I do want to pair it with some of my darker concealers to see how I like it. You know, it's hard to tell, like, is that going to be too light on my face? So I'm going to put this with the Josie Maran and the Armani one to see how I like it. I think I could mix it with these two, or with this one, the Estee Lauder Double Wear Radiant Concealer in 1N Light. But I just want to be able to try it out, test it, see how I like it. It does seem to dry down very quickly. So we'll see. I will go ahead and use this. You know, I just want to make sure that there's nothing in there that I may love that I end up decluttering and then regret it later. So this Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer, I really like this. I like their regular Double Wear. This is the Radiant. I like the one that's just, I think, in a skinnier tube. That's up there with the It Cosmetics concealer for me, but I do enjoy this one. I don't know if I'd repurchase it, but I do want to get use out of it. It is a little bit deeper, and I like mixing it with the shades when I feel like, you know, I put on my concealer and I feel like it's too light. A lot of times I'll just add a couple dots of this one, and it blends in really well to other concealers. So I do want to hold on to it for that. Next, I have the Kokie Be Bright Illuminating Concealer. I have this in the shade Light. This is like a more of a pinky tone, which is really nice because it helps to cancel out the dark circles. I have not gotten a good use out of this yet. I recently bought it when I bought the foundation, so I am going to hold on to this and see how I like it. If I don't reach for it or decide I don't like it by my next declutter, I'll just get rid of it. And that goes for all of these, the Josie, the Hourglass, the Armani that I said I want to try out. If I don't reach for those and try them by my next declutter, I'll get rid of it. This is the Smashbox Studio Skin 24-Hour Waterproof Concealer. This is in Fair Light. I don't know if you can tell. Let's see here. but my cat, for some reason, chews on this one like crazy. Let's see. This one's like almost gone. I like this concealer. It's one of those products that I used to wear all the time, like a couple years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And I remember really liking it, but then I repurchased it and I'm just not thrilled or super impressed. So I'm going to declutter this one. I did use a good amount of it though. I also have the Lancome in shade 90 Ivory. This is definitely more of a creamy, thicker concealer. I used to use this all the time, and I should really pull it out again because it's very radiant. It's really nice under more dry under eyes, which is what I have. So I'm for sure gonna hold on. Whoops. I'm for sure gonna hold on to this one. I may put it in my next project pan. Next I have, let's see here. I have this Bare Minerals concealer in the shade Well Rested. I'm gonna declutter this. I used to use Bare Minerals all the time. I just think that as I'm older, it's just not looking as great on my skin. So I've tried this out a couple times. This is a repurchase that I found at TJ Maxx, I think. And it just doesn't do it for me. So I'm going to get rid of that. And then I have the Stay Assurance Concealer from JCat. I purchased this again because of Taylor Wynn. And I don't know if you can tell, that is way too light for me. And that is a shame because I want to test out the concealer, but I mean, that's way too light. I just can't justify keeping that one and the Hourglass. So I'd rather try out the Hourglass because even though it's more expensive, it's easier for me to get. I hate online shopping. I don't like ordering online. I'm way too instant gratification. I'd rather go get it from the store. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. And then the Lorac Pro Soft Focus Longwear Concealer. I have this in a project that I'm doing on Instagram, and I don't like it. It's like a serum concealer, kind of like those serum foundations, which is, I think, similar to the foundation that goes with this. And I don't like serum foundations. I don't like this concealer. It looks dry and patchy under my eyes, so I will be decluttering that. Okay, so here are my concealers that I'm getting rid of, passing along, decluttering, whatever you want to say. I have 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm getting rid of 9, so I think that's pretty good. I'm keeping 14. 12 if you don't count the under eye correctors. So this is what I'm keeping. This is what I'm decluttering. So I am happy with that. Let's see if they fit back in here easier. Perfect. So that is much better than what I started with. So I'm very happy. I'm very proud of myself for that one because I really like base products. So I will go ahead and move on to the next category.